This is the Ferrari LaFerrari, and it's a little bit like a Toyota Prius. Yeah, you see it's petrol powered, but that's supplemented by an electric motor. Only, unlike the Prius, the electric motor isn't there for economy, it's for performance. In fact, the electric motor on this car is more powerful than the Prius itself. Now I'm going to review the LaFerrari, but before I do, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to turn your notifications on so you're alerted when we make a new upload. Right, let's kick off this review by talking about the design. From this angle, it kind of looks a little bit like some form of angry insect. I think the door mirrors make it look like it's got antennae. Obviously, it'll be a stingy insect. Look at it, it's red and kind of scary looking. At the front, very, very F1. This front splitter here, also like the venting here for the radiators, it just looks really purposeful. All the lines, all the creases, all the vents, they do something. Down the side, real nice wheels. Obviously, you've got center locking nuts there with the Ferrari emblem on. Swoops again, feeding the air where it needs to go. The air intakes here feed air into the radiators. I want to show you this as well, look. Classic hypercar butterfly doors. Makes getting in quite easy. Let's move to the rear. These vents here send air round and into the engine, and then you've got your clear engine cover there where you can see that beautiful V12. Round the back, the circular lights, of course, and you can see the workings in there as well through that grate. We've got carbon fibre, a diffuser here. This moves, it's active. So this car can produce 90 kilograms of downforce when you're going at 124 miles an hour, and that helps reduce drag but keeps it planted on the road. But in corners, it can increase that downforce to 360 kilograms to really help it grip. Some of the features worth mentioning are this. Look, you've got a fog light which looks like the brake light on a Formula 1 car, and it even houses the rear view camera. Also, this rear spoiler actually pops out and acts as an air brake as well. As for the exhaust, I want to show you this because there are real exhausts in there, so they would pass the Carway stick of truth, but they have this surround which kind of makes them look bigger. It's a little bit like putting a sock down your pants to make your own pipe look bigger. Anyway, which Ultimate Ferrari do you prefer the look of? The 288 GTO, the F40, the F50, the Enzo, or this LaFerrari? Click on the pop-out banner up there to cast your vote. Here in the inside, the LaFerrari feels very, very sporty, but not completely pared back like a racing car in the same way that the Enzo does. There's loads of carbon fibre here, on the steering wheel as well. Lovely Alcantara, which just kind of lifts it. It's quite a comfy thing to sit in. Feels more modern, and by gosh, you do actually get a stereo. Also, you get air conditioning. Look, there's your vent controls there. The air vents themselves look pretty cool. They're like jet afterburners. And then this little dial here controls your infotainment screen, which is over on the right. And you can actually configure the displays, but obviously the display is dominated by this huge rev counter there. Red line is at 9,000 RPM. Then we come to the steering wheel. So it's square and you've got shift up lights. The horn is also embedded in the actual steering wheel rim. Listen. Ooh, I just shot myself. You can control the lights here, the indicators, the windscreen wipers on the steering wheel. There's a start button. There's a suspension button as well, which doesn't make the suspension harder for sporty driving. It actually makes it softer for going over bumpy roads. Then there's this switch here, which is the Manatino switch, which puts the car into different modes, be it wet, sport, race, traction control off, which stops the wheel spinning, then ESC off, which is the thing that stops the car actually sliding round. So turn that off if you want to do some skids. Now down here on the centre console, you've actually got your selector for the gearbox there, so you've got reverse, auto and launch, and it's on this weird spike that you could probably impale yourself on. Then your window control switches are here. There's also the button to lift the car up to go over some bumps or curbs. You've got some storage area down here. There's a 12-volt socket up here and a USB input, which has the USB going one way and then another way. Don't know why that is. Maybe if you flip the car, you can still understand that it's the USB input. Also, there's a little plaque up here telling you that this is a limited edition car. One of 499 apparently. Gotta say, love the design of the seats and the feel of them as well. And you've got the Ferrari logo embossed in there. There's also a little storage area here. It's a glove box, which is only big enough for gloves. Unfortunately, I can't seem to shut it. It just won't, no, it doesn't shut. There's also a little luggage net there as well. And check out the floor mats. They're just rubberized nonsense stuck to the floor. Over here you have the door mirror controls, and then there's the button here for your electric charging socket, for opening the frunk and then another one for opening the fuel filler cap. Also use this control over here to control the left side of the digital display, which has all the things like trip times and all the racy stuff. Speaking of racy stuff, these seats are super comfy, but they're fixed. If you want to get comfortable and you're a little bit short or tall, then you actually move the pedal box either towards you or away from you by putting up this lever, and then of course you can move the steering wheel, and there is quite a lot of movement in it, as you can see. Now apparently the roof in the LaFerrari is about 30mm higher than in the Enzo, and that means that you can actually wear a helmet in it if you're of normal size. There's some other touches around the place, like the Italian flag here on the dash. Also, there's some buttons up here embedded in carbon fibre for things like locking the car or for turning off the alarm if it needs to be towed because you've run out of fuel. Rear view mirror feels quite nice and is made of carbon fibre. All in all, a very, very nice place to sit. It's got lots of emotion, lots of style, feels good quality, and it's surprisingly just comfy. When you open the front, you might think, wait a minute, there isn't one. Ah, there is, look, it's under here. It's not particularly large though. That's your lot. You do have this, look. It's the thing for doing those centre locking nuts. And that's your lot. Well, here we have it then, the engine in the LaFerrari. It's a 6.3 litre naturally aspirated V12, pumps out 800 horsepower, but that's supplemented by a Curse electrical system, and that gives you an extra 163 horsepower. So in total, 963 horsepower and 900 Newton meters of torque. 0 to 60, 2.4 seconds. Top speed, 217 miles an hour. Yes, it's a bit of a beast, and it drives the rear wheels via a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic gearbox with launch control. There's some interesting things about this engine. So the batteries, which power that electric motor, are underneath the floor. Also, if you look over there, you will see some orange piping. That's connecting the battery pack to the electrical motor, and it's orange and clearly visible. So if the car has a fire, firemen can come in here and they know to disconnect those wires. Here on this side of the car is a fuel filler cap. On the other is actually an inlet for the battery. So there's one for the normal 12 volt, and then there's the other for the high performance battery, which drives that Curse system. However, this is not a plug-in hybrid at all. The only reason you have that is if you leave the car standing because you're a collector and it's an appreciating asset. You don't want the battery to go to so you need to top it up occasionally. The car actually recharges its battery under braking, or when you've got an overproduction of torque from the engine, say when you're cornering, it uses that to charge up the battery. And within 4 miles, it can charge its battery to full from flat. So you're good to have maximum performance. However, this car isn't perfect. Here's 5 annoying things about it. One of the problems with this engine bay cover is that it's quite heavy and it gets hot when you've been driving. So you go to check out your engine after you've had a good drive, you lift it up to here, realise that that's burning your fingers, you drop it, this goes down, smashes, and then you have to pay Ferrari 16 grand for their design fault. The batteries add 60 kilograms of weight to the car. In fact, the whole hybrid system weighs 143 kilograms. The total weight is 1,585 kilograms despite all that carbon fibre. Maybe they'd have been better off just using some turbos to boost the power instead of clever electrics to be all F1-y. Unlike the McLaren P1 and the Porsche 918, this thing can't be driven on electric power alone, so you can't creep back to your house when you've been out seeing your mistress. You will wake your wife up with that V12. This is the first Ferrari not to be designed with input from Pininfarina since the Dino, so it's kind of like the end of an era, though actually, depending on your viewpoint, that could be a good thing. Actually, let me know. Which do you think looks the best? This LaFerrari or the Enzo? Click up there to vote. Done it? Good. Out there. You can only buy these tyres through a Ferrari dealer, which means mucho money. Yeah, you can't just go to your local Quick Fit or anything like that. Also, if you have a screw in the middle of it, you can't just have it repaired. They are ZR rated tyres. You will have to replace one. And then you'd have to replace the other one so you have the same amount of wear on each side of the tyres. So it all gets a little bit annoying, inconvenient and expensive. Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5. The carbon fibre chassis was designed by Ferrari's Formula 1 technical director, Mr. Rory Byrne. As you're driving along, air is forced into the engine intakes, and at high speed, that increases the horsepower of the engine by 5. As hot air from the engine bay escapes through these air vents, it actually creates a little bit of downforce for added grip. The chassis is 27% stiffer than that of the Enzo. Oh, also, if you have the convertible Aperta version, the drag coefficient is the same because they've been really clever with the aero. Well done, Ferrari. This is the first Ferrari to use a hybrid system. Also, it was built to sort of celebrate 70 years of Ferrari. So 40 years was the F40, 50 years was the F50, 60 years was the Enzo, and like I said, 70 is this. First time in a LaFerrari, I'm just gonna cane it. Let's do this. Deep breath. Go. Oh. 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 That's a lot of speed. That's a lot of bloody speed. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my God. Oh, the way it picks up because of that curve system giving you that boost. Now I'm on a runway, so I can't really explore the handling any more than doing this. Oh, that was a bit understeery there. Let's go again. Third gear. Oh, yes. Oh my God, super quick. Oh, wow. Wow. Well, that box definitely ticked. Right, what can I tell you? Let me get my brain back into gear. So what I'm going to do is third gear, hold it around 50 miles an hour. This is what happens when I just floor it from here. Whoa. Oh. Thank God for those shift lights. That's enough of that. Oh, it feels so quick. Brakes are good. Thank God for those carbon ceramics. It's so good. Okay, now what I'm going to do is a full emergency stop from 100 miles an hour. See what these brakes are like. Here we go. Oh, it stays nice and straight. Oh my God. I think I just gave myself a concussion. My goodness. If I had the means, I would very much like one of these, please. Oh, bugger it. Just one more go, why not? Launch it. So then, what's my final verdict on the LaFerrari? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, yeah, if you can afford it, why would you not go right ahead and buy it? Or would you rather have a P1 or a 918 Spider? Which one? Click up there on the pop-up banner to cast your vote. I'll leave it up to you guys. I enjoyed it. See you later. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Also, I just wanted to say a big thanks to Andrew here for sorting out the car for me to review. Now, if you click over there, you can go check out his channel and find out about a chance to win something, apparently.
Yes, guys, you can win a free 1 hour drive in our brand new Lamborghini Aventador S Roadster, and you also get a free MacBook Air.
So click over there, check it out.